So how much did you see of the lady that got gunned down?
Well, I watched all the available video clips that I'm aware of, which was 2 angles. I saw how Madam Good backed up. Basically, she did a 3-point turn. She backed up away from the agents, turned the wheel and started going away, and that's when he pulled his gun and shot her as she sped off in the direction. So, I mean, I think it's really clear. I don't know exactly what you want to talk about, but I think it's really clear that what they're trying to do is push the limits of non-lawful law enforcement, triggering people such that they have an uprising so they can declare a state of emergency. It seems far-fetched, but I've been claiming this for a while.
I agree to that statement in a sense of, I think this has been a long-winded psyop. I mean, you look at a lot of the past big, you could call it civil unrests that have been in America. Where have they all been? Minnesota. You look at the where the George Floyd incident was 4 blocks away from where Renee Good, that's her name?
Yeah.
Got shot. 4 blocks away. You look at Nick Shirley, the guy who did the story on the Somalis.
Yeah.
One, he kissed the wall like a couple months ago, went and did pro-Israel propaganda in Gaza. Okay, interesting. Where did that happen? Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
So you see all this, and it's weird that it's happening all in one state.
I don't think, but it's not. Like, I get your point.
That's where all the national media is. That's where all the national media
But 2 people were just killed by ICE in Portland. It's right. Not. Like, that's the most prominent news cycle because we have video of it.
Well, the issue is now is we're going to see a lot of violent protesters, which I also think is due to...
You think there's going to be violent protesters? Is that what you're saying?
Due to feds inciting riots.
Well, that's my point.
Like you saw the people burning the American flag. That's a fed.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they were protests. They were burning the American flag, and then all the Republicans are like, "Oh, who is that? That's a fed. That guy is probably part of the FBI."
Yeah, they had that during the George Floyd riots. Yeah.
You look at yeah, and that does prove to be true. The Antifa.
They have inciters.
Those were all feds.
Well, here's the funniest part: is Trump called her a professional agitator, and I'm not gonna.
Called who? Renee Goodman?
Yeah.
Goodman or Good?
Good.
Good.
Renee Good. And I got this line from Samuel Bede last night, which was a comedy show.
Rest in peace to her.
Oh,
Family
absolutely.
woman.
It's horrible.
That is disgusting.
Samuel Bede made a really good point. It's like Trump called Renee Good a professional agitator, and he's like, jerk, that's you. Trump is by far the most professional, most agitating. That's all he does, is he sows chaos. Here's the thing, and I heard it.
He's a rage baiter.
He's a rage baiter at his core because it serves him. And he knows that in our culture, what gets money is attention. And he does not care about America. He cares about him. And I heard this today on a news podcast. I don't remember. I think it was Destiny said it. Destiny said, Trump is worse than Hitler because Hitler at least loved his country. He was doing the things because he loved his country. He thought those that he was offing were harming his country. Trump doesn't give a shit about America. He's just using it for his own means.
Were they harming his country?
I'm not going to enter in that debate. I don't think that's relevant right now. I'm giving him a look because what's really important is what's happening here. What do we need to know? What do we need to do?
Who is harming our country?
Yeah, it's 100% Israel is stoking this because did you know that ICE is trained by Israel? Well,
yeah,
I'm sorry, by the IDF.
The guy that shot her was IDF trained.
All of ICE is IDF trained. Most police forces are IDF trained.
It's asinine. It's
America first is what it is.
I was thinking about this last night. It is. I saw Elon Musk tweet. I was on Twitter and I don't like that he pops up, but he owns it, so he's gonna pop up on my feed. And he said something of like, because of the laws in South Africa and because I'm white, they don't allow Starlink there because I'm a white business owner or something of that. And
That's probably the biggest load of shit, isn't it?
He was essentially like calling them racist and like, well, these Africans, they only want black people in their country. And in my head, I'm like, isn't that what you guys want? You guys don't want any Mexicans?
You don't want any immigrants, any.
You don't want, yeah, you don't want any, which I am all for.
Careful.
Immigration control. Like, I don't think that anybody can just come in and just.
They don't, but we just have really shitty laws. Like, we just need to reform the system.
I mean, Obama was pretty good on immigration. Did he throw kids in cages? Yeah. There's no really good way to do immigration control that we've seen yet. But when you're shooting people in cold blood and letting just thugs just dictate, that's the issue. So
here's something I've been working on. There's 3 ways to do anything. There's the absolute perfect way. Like, you go, okay, let's just talk about government corruption. Let's say there's resources available. Let's talk about maybe the COVID-19 funding they had for small businesses, where they said, we're going to really try and control, we're going to give help to businesses who need it because things have shut down. So there's 3 ways to do it. Nail it perfectly. Only those who need it apply, and everybody who applies who does need it legitimately gets it. No fraud, no excess waste, and nobody gets denied that needs it. Does perfect ever happen?
No.
Okay, so if perfect never happens, then we have 2 alternatives. Either don't give it to some who really need it because there's certain people who abuse the system, or give it to everybody who needs it and probably have a few people get it who don't need it. Where do you choose to make the error? Do you err on the side of, we'll let a few people in the country that probably shouldn't be, and we'll help as many as we can, and we'll do as much as we can right, and we'll reform to that extreme? Or do we say, screw everybody, and we're going to harm those that come in legally, and we're going to abuse them against our Constitution? Like, you have a choice of, we're never going to get it exactly right. The question is, on which side do you want to make the error? You can call me a tree-hugging, hippie, leaning left, bleeding heart liberal, whatever you want, but I would rather err on the side where more people get and a few abusers take advantage and we try and hunt them out, rather than we screw over most good people in hopes of catching 1 or 2 bad guys. I refuse to give up my rights because that's where this extreme leads. They're trying to incite us to revolt and be angry and violent. To your point about flag burnings, like, it's our right to burn a flag. That's what the First Amendment says.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Would I burn a flag? No. But are you entitled to? Yes.
But here's the thing.
It's such a weird talking point that, you know.
You want to talk about weird talking points?
I think the immigration issue is tricky. I think.
Why is it tricky? What makes you think it's tricky? It's a talking point. It's bullshit.
Yeah, no,
does it need help and
it
work?
does get out of control. But the issue is you have somebody who's very radical left who goes, let everybody in.
Nobody has ever said that. Nobody.
But you let a lot of people in.
No, there's never been anybody who's ever said, let them all in.
No, sure.
They're saying, let's make the policies better and stronger. Let's do the work that Congress and policymakers have. But I want you to take that back or back it up. That's a bullshit talking point.
There are very radical people on both sides. People say,
let everybody in?
People get lenient on how much they allow in versus people who go, no, which also, there are probably still illegal immigrants coming in as we speak. That's a hard situation to control.
The Afrikaners, sure.
I think we should be strict on who we let in. I think Americans should be Americans. But then you think about it in the fact of living in Arizona, there are a lot of illegals here. And I have never met an illegal that isn't a pretty stand-up person.
I've never met an illegal that wasn't an amazing hard worker that paid into a system that they could not take from.
They work their ass off. They do.
And if they've stolen a social security number, they're paying into a system that they cannot draw upon. They don't get the fucking benefits.
No, they work their ass off and they try to get a better life, especially for their kids who get birthright. There's merit to that. We are now we went radical. We went radical But there's a common ground.
I disagree. Tell me where you claim that the left just wants to let everybody in.
No, I don't say the left. I don't say that. I say that the Biden administration failed on immigration.
No, how? How did they fail?
They were way too lenient. Let a bunch of people in.
Do you have any statistics for that, or is that a talking point you've heard?
You can find statistics.
No, you find them. I don't think that point's real.
You have the desktop.
You do the research and send it to me, and I'll put it up, because that is not true. That is 100%, 99% of talking point that they beat Biden up on immigration. He was just as tough. He stopped more fentanyl coming into this country, and they proved it. And the damn Republicans tried to use it. Hold on.
Well,
they
okay,
used
but
it as
hold
a
on.
talking point.
You're painting me like I'm agreeing with what's going on right now.
But what you're doing is you're using talking points.
No, I'm trying to go into the nuance of you're saying that be lenient this way or be very strict this way. And my thing is, I'd rather be a little bit more strict than let a few bad people in. I think we have the technology to be able to vet everybody who comes in. We have enough technology to protect the borders.
Wait, let me ask you the question, because you said that I want to understand. You're saying that given the fact that we can't be perfect and only allow those in that do it the right way, and we can handle everybody that wants to come in there right, and those that are seeking asylum get all of the rights afforded to them. If we can't do that perfectly, you'd rather say, I would rather harm people and disallow hold on.
Harm people.
By disallowing them their rights under our Constitution, you would rather remove some rights from those people than let a few people in.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
The Constitution says that anybody in America is afforded due process.
No, they deserve due process. That was never my point.
But my point is, you're saying you'd rather err on the other side.
No, I'm not saying that.
But that's what. Did I not hear you right then?
No, I'm not talking about due process. Somebody gets in illegally, they still deserve due process. That's not my point.
But that's what's happening.
No, I know that's what's happening. You're acting like I'm on that side.
But I thought you said you would rather go more strict. That was the argument. If
I'm saying be strict on how we let people in. Not because illegals are going to get in. That's going to happen. We can't be perfect on that.
Let's stop calling them illegals. People from other countries. Let's call them immigrants.
Immigrants
human is illegal.
Come here illegally are going to come in. And when they get here, they're allowed due process. They shouldn't be dragged off the street. They should be detained properly, given due process, not just sent on a plane somewhere, without a doubt. That's not what I'm saying. First of all,
but that's what it sounded like when you said you would err on the side.
I was trying to. No, because you've been interrupting a lot, so now I get to interrupt. You've been interrupting me this entire time.
Explain what you meant, because you said you'd rather err on one side, and I think you're talking up. I think you're.
I'm erring on my side. You created two sides, and then I said this is the side I want to err on, and then you took that, and you kind of made it black and white.
I'm saying if we can't be perfect, you have to err on one side or the other. I would rather us err on the side of let's keep all of our rights and understand that a few bad apples are going to get in the system, as opposed to the other side is let's make it more strict, remove some rights because we don't want to let anybody.
No,
that was my argument.
That's yours. I'm not saying we have to remove any rights. I'm just saying be strict on how you let people in.
You're just talking about hiring more enforcement officers, train them better, and apply resources to protecting the border. That I'm all for.
That's all I was saying. But
I posed a hypothetical.
You posed a hypothetical, which was there's a lot of fallacy in your logic because those aren't just the two ways. You're saying you either have to remove rights to be stricter or let a few bad apples in. No, you can be stricter. Understand that a few bad apples are going to get in.
How do you be stricter? What do you mean by be stricter?
Like we just talked about, have actual officers, not just idiots that want to become ICE and be a thug and do whatever they want. Have actual people who are trained.
But that's not stricter. That's just more resources to do it right. Because the process
that's stricter.
We have process that works. We just don't have the resources to apply it at the scale we find.
We don't have process that works
Yes,
because
we do.
We don't follow it. We might have
That's what I mean by we don't have the resources to implement it. We have the process in place.
We don't have the resources because that's not what our regime is focused on.
What a great statement. Say that again.
I don't need to.
We don't have the resources to do what our regime wants.
We don't have the resources because that's not what our regime is focused on.
What are they focused on? What do you mean by that?
I'm not too sure what they're focused on, but they're not focused on the right things.
I would agree with you there.
I wish I could tell you what is their purpose. What are they trying to accomplish? I don't know.
I can tell you.
You can theorize.
They've said it themselves.
But to sit there and try to understand.
They want a white Christian nationalist country where there's no people of color that are not born here, even if you were born here.
Maybe they want that.
They say it. Look, Stephen Miller doesn't hide behind it.
What you hear them say and what they talk about behind closed doors, two different things. Do a lot of them not want people of color in the country? Sure. I don't imagine Trump cares all that much when it comes to race, as much as people think. I think...
he has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt how racist he is.
He's pretty racist, but
that just contradicts
But
yourself.
you're trying to sit there and say that there aren't black people that he's friends with? There aren't black people that he...
Yeah, if they bow down and kiss his ring, he only likes people who kiss his ring.
Right. So I don't see it as I hate black people. I don't think Trump is I hate black people. He's I need people to work for me and benefit me. And this
I don't care what color you
demographic probably doesn't like me.
You know what? I have to concede your point, because Kash Patel is Indian and he sucks Trump's dick better than anybody.
And he loves Kash Patel. So do you see what I'm saying? You can sit there and call it a race problem, but that's a him problem. That's what I imagine they want you to think, that they want to cause the division of it being a race problem, because a lot of those ICE agents, for instance, are very
brown.
Well, I was actually going to say a lot of them are really racist too. A lot of them are very like white supremacists. They go into ICE because that's basically their version of the Klan. I get to
it's
kick people out who don't belong here. So Trump plays that angle because that's where his supporters are, but that's not his actual angle. He just knows that's what benefits.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. In fact, I will go so far as to say I agree that
I was right and you're wrong.
Lack of nuanced... What?
I was right and you're wrong.
No, he's still racist. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm saying I agree with the point you just made, which is...
I don't think he cares that much about that.
It doesn't matter what race you are as long as you bow down to him. But if you don't bow down to him, he hates you more if you're dark.
It almost gets to the point where you become too much of a bigot to even care about race. It's whatever benefits. So
what is that noise clicking?
If black people love Trump, then he loves black people. If black people hate Trump, he hates black people. Are Mexicans going to enjoy Trump? No. So what is Trump going to do? Fuck out of here. And then he wants to talk about how it's to control the war on drugs.
That's bullshit, because he just pardoned a fucking massive drug dealer.
It's
bullshit. Like, it just, as long as...
But everything he's doing right now is bullshit.
Everything he's ever done is bullshit.
There's no... Yeah.
He doesn't serve America, he serves himself. That's the bottom line. And what's going to serve him, because as soon as he leaves, there are some issues, especially with the DOJ and the Epstein files, and the fact that they didn't follow through with the law that Trump signed into process by releasing all the files. If they subpoena them and they follow certain legal angles, I just saw this today, that they cannot, with a regime change, remove the threat of legal action, meaning Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, who have failed miserably at their jobs, have the documents, refuse to release them. They're going to subpoena them, and they're going to put on record what's happening so that when Trump leaves office, those crimes against America will still stand, which means now you're threatening a wild animal, and he's going to do anything and everything to stay in power, which means he's going to declare a state of emergency. I've said it before, and I'll go on this and look right in the camera and go, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat. I'll get a hat, and then I'll eat it. But if we allow that to happen, if we rise up, like, literally what they're going to do is they're going to take ICE agents, uncivilized, untrained, non-police forces, and act like military police, go around, shoot and kill people, until we resist. And as soon as we resist, they're going to call us domestic terrorists, and they're going to shut the government down. They're not going to have elections, and Trump's going to be the de facto tyrant of this nation.
So what's the solution?
Preemptive Second Amendment.
I was talking to somebody yesterday at work, and he was kind of joking. He was like, "If that happened to me, I'm taking at least 4 of them with me."
I think it was
I think it does seem to be getting to the point where the 2 people that, and this is all hearsay, like we don't actually know, but from what I've heard, the 2 people in Oregon who got killed by the ICE agents were trying to kill those ICE agents.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it. I just saw a headline that 2 people got killed. That's horrible if that's the case. That's horrible.
But you just said preemptive Second Amendment.
Oh, I wasn't talking about, preemptive, in that case I was speaking about the demented leader of this country who is a threat to democracy. So
you're saying
hold
off
on,
with Trump.
Let me say my piece. He is the domestic terrorist. He is the threat from within.
Not just him, but yeah.
Well, but he's at the top of it. And it's the people that support him and all the way down the chain. But those people in Portland, this is hypothetical because I know nothing about it. I haven't really searched it. If they were trying to kill ICE agents preemptively, shame on them. If they were defending themselves against armed, masked marauders, more power to them.
That's where a lot of...
It's a tricky line, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that's where a lot of nuance comes in, because you see somebody get killed in cold blood who was zero threat to the ICE agents. So now you're sitting there, now you put it in somebody's head of, if this ICE agent even approaches me, if I don't take preemptive action, he's going to kill me. So we've been put in a spot of, was it self-defense? And, the law is never going to be on the person's side who shot an ICE agent because they started approaching him. But you can't discount the fact that they have a point. Their life is, as soon as an ICE agent approaches you, from what we have seen from the experience, your life is now immediately in danger.
So I have the solution. What needs to happen is, and I don't know which side will do it, but ICE agents must follow the Constitution, and they must follow laws. But
yeah, that's a great solution.
No, I'm not done. I'm nuanced. Remember, I have layers to my story.
Sometimes, not earlier.
If an ICE agent approaches me, that's one thing. But if somebody appearing to be an ICE agent approaches me, that's a different story. They have to identify themselves. They can't, I think about this. Not that I want this to happen, but I imagine somewhere somebody's going to dress up like an ICE agent. Much like that guy who went to the Somali daycare. He had 2 guys dressed like ICE agents, covered black, head to toe, vests on. They looked like ICE agents. And the Somalis resisted, get the fuck out of here and shut the door, because they looked like ICE agents because they were a threat. They have no rights to enter that building, but that's why they resisted. So if somebody dressed like an ICE agent approaches me and they don't identify themselves and they don't share who they are, they have no authority over me or anybody.
I mean, even an ICE agent doesn't have any authority over any U.S. citizen.
No, they do if they have a signed warrant by a judge.
Okay.
But my point is that they're bullies right now, and anybody can go and act like a bully. So if somebody were to approach, say, John Q. Smith, right? And John Q. Smith happens to be a law-abiding, gun-toting American, and somebody rolls up on him, does not identify, and Jose Q. Smith. Let's say Jose Q. Smith, American citizen, looks brown as hell, looks browner than me, not much like you, and minding his own business, but he's carrying a gun. And somebody that looks like ICE agent rolls up on him and starts harassing him without identifying himself as law enforcement and starts to attempt to harm him. Does Jose Q. Smith have the right to self-defend himself?
Yeah, I agree so. But,
right, but to your point a minute ago, you said no courts would, you could see it says police. You could see it says ICE. But I can write ICE on a sweatshirt. Don't make me a fucking police officer.
So what I think the actual solution would be is everybody goes around with a mask on that the Kevlar on. Doesn't even have to say ICE, because half of those, am I wrong in the fact that half of the ICE agents don't even have like ICE or anything?
I don't know. I don't know.
A lot of the times I just see uniforms of like, they just look like
thugs. They look like backwater hillbilly militias.
Yeah, they look like a militia. So I think the solution would be everybody goes around wearing that.
Well, that's what Don Lemon said. And Don Lemon said, look, all brown people of color, black, brown, whatever you are.
Start dressing up as them.
Go out, he said, go out and get guns and arm yourselves. Because these are cowards who hide behind a mask and hide behind a fake badge. And if you walk up to if 3 ICE agents walks up to a group of well-armed and well-regulated brown people with weapons to the hilt,
they're probably going to assume, oh, those are American citizens because they know what they're doing.
I doubt they think beyond. They're going to think, well, I don't want to take this. I'm going to call for backup. Like, I think most of them, pardon my language, but a bunch of them are bitch-ass punks. They are not real men because they hide behind the masks. They hide behind all the bullshit rules and support that the current tyrant administration affords them.
It goes back, and I feel like we talk about this every podcast, but it goes back to the prison Stanford experiment. Trump gave these dudes a whole lot of power, and these dudes are now
empowered.
And they are abusing it because that is basic human psychology.
So okay, I want new last question. We'll wrap this up here. I want to ask you this. Given that the Stanford prison experiment is 100% in play, I totally agree with you. Knowing that, how do we leverage that? And I think I have an answer, but I want to hear your answer. How do we leverage giving somebody power that then empowers them further? How do we use that to protect ourselves, to stop this tyrant government?
Easily manipulatable. They're not, like you said, they're not well regulated emotionally.
Alicia will like that.
You just have to manipulate them yourself.
I look at it differently. I think what we have to do is we have to empower everybody else. Not just with weapons. I think we all, if you have the capacity and are legally allowed, I think everybody should Everybody should have a piece on their hip and a rifle on their back. Whatever the laws allow you, do it. But I think more importantly, and this is why I love those First Amendment auditors, I think everybody should know every angle of every law of the Constitution and all the amendments so that when ICE shows up, you know what to say, how to say it. So if they do something wrong, they lose their qualified immunity, which I don't think ICE has. I think ICE is exempt from qualified immunity.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that sounds great in theory, but that dude shot a woman in cold blood. If that was a police officer, he would be doing time.
Maybe.
Almost certainly.
Only because Floyd was down the street. But pick Arizona, depends on it depends on the police force.
95% of the time? First of all, you're stopping somebody with zero cause.
Well, we don't know why they approached. We don't know that. I mean, we do know that her partner was a protester. She was there to pick up people, and she was there to let people know ICE was in the neighborhood, and ICE didn't like it. So that's the current theory from
they still have zero cause.
Zero probable cause, zero legal probable cause. Absolutely.
Right. So if that's an
but
actual...
they have zero legal probable cause to be in that city,
right.
Which is why the mayor said,
"What I'm talking about
get
is
the fuck out."
It's not going to do anything.
Well,
that'd be nice, but like we talk about these hypotheticals of know your
rights.
Know your rights, but we're a little bit past that. It doesn't really matter. They don't give a fuck about your rights because they know that they are going to be immune.
I disagree.
But here's my counter.
Okay.
The Minneapolis Justice Department is not allowed to even take over that situation.
The whole state is not allowed to investigate.
FBI came in and said, "This is ours now. Leave it. You're not allowed to touch it." So, and what is FBI going to do? Let that guy go free. Right?
I don't know. What is Kash Patel going to do? Wait until a windbreaker gets in his size?
So my whole point is, you can know your rights all you want, but those are going to get manipulated. You just have to be a better manipulator, and I just thought about this on the podcast now, so next time I'll come up with ways to be able to manipulate them. I think a big way is you go to a protest, dress up as an ICE. Dress up like you're ICE.
But you have to do that as a group. Because if you show up to a protest, by the way, there's going to be a vigil out in front of your restaurant tonight.
Are you serious?
For good. For her.
Oh, that means I'm making no money tonight.
Well, parking's going to be a bitch. They told to park behind Bourbon and Bones.
Are you dead ass?
I'm dead ass. I'm on a mail list that I saw that I'm like, oh shit, that's going to mess with the restaurant. You're shitting me. Indian School in Scottsdale Road. They're going to...
I'm all for protests, but
it's not a protest, it's a vigil. Sorry,
okay,
it's a vigil
I'm all for... I think it's terrible what happened to Renee Good. I think she was a family woman. Terrible. Disgusting. Do I need to go to work tonight and make money? Yes. Is that going to impede me? Yes. That's unfortunate. I wish it was on like Scottsdale and McDowell. That would have been great, but whatever.
So impede you from going home.
That's
you
fine.
Go the other way.
I'm okay with a little bit of traffic for the good.
My point that I want to go back for just a second is...
It's going to kill business.
I don't think it will.
It will.
Listen, I said that I think what we need to do is a combination. Is if everybody goes out and learns their rights and exercises them, and that's what I meant by everybody who's legally allowed, arm yourself to the teeth, know your rights, know the rules, so that when a couple of ICE agents shows up, everybody knows and stands firm as a unity. Because literally, united we stand, divided we fall. And if there's a small protest and everybody is armed legally and peacefully, if ICE approaches, yeah, like, it might be ugly once or twice, but ICE, those are individuals who are out for their own good. They're just like Trump. They don't care about the greater good. They think they do, but that guy shot Miss Good in the face because he feared for his own life. He wasn't doing it for the country.
Did you see what I think?
Did you hear that? Like, he didn't do it for the country. He did it for himself.
Did you hear what Vance, I think, said about it? He said this guy just got ran over like 6 weeks ago.
It was
he got hit by a car, and so that's why I shot her. Oh, so he
that's
wasn't
not okay.
So he wasn't fit to be in that job,
right?
Like,
but so
it's so funny.
Yeah, they all took the line of defending this, which is indefensible. So what does that tell you? It tells you that this is not the play. This is a step in the play. The play is something larger, which I think...
So we go up, well, not we, I'm not going to go, but to those who protest, and good for you, go and dress up as an ICE agent. Everybody, go and dress up as an ICE agent. All of a sudden, they're going to be confused. They don't know who's on their side. Say you dress up as an ICE agent and you got a fucking rifle on your back. Everybody, but then the ICE agents start protesting. That group think that the ICE agents have, or they're going to sit there and be like,
well, these are our people.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? That's, you want to like really disrupt it and manipulate their heads. It needs to be a coordinated event for everybody who goes to a protest, which, it's 300 million Americans. There's probably going to be 5 million protesters across the nation. To get 5 million protesters to
That's huge.
Well, you even look at the supply and demand chain. We're not even going to.
We have the guns. Don't worry.
But are we going to be able to get like the Kevlar and everything for 5 million people? No. But
we can costume up real good.
Yeah, actually you can. And to any billionaire out there who has any lick of decency should fund it.
That's a damn good point.
Now, is this going to happen? No. But if you want...
Actually, that's a really good point, is if we all dress up as them, then we can convert their mind. The idea that we all use psychological manipulation on the weak-minded, because that's what it is.
You shouldn't cut that out. That's true.
No, this part is good. It was I was going to do Joe Rogan's bit, but he doesn't deserve it right now. I'm not going to give him props. Screw him. But no, I love the idea that if we co-opt their methodology, like, it's pure psyops. We just have to out-psyop them.
And that's what it is. The American people are getting psyoped at a insane rate. Like, we've always been psyoped, but we are psyoped every single fucking day. So what do we have to do? We have to start psyoping ourselves.
We have to psyop them.
We have to make it seem like, oh yeah, okay, Trump, we're on your side. Yada, yada, yada. And, we can say this on this podcast because honestly, you can say this out loud as a very prominent figure in politics.
Say what?
You can sit there and say, we just need to psyop him back. And...
Well, that's the problem is most people don't think there's psyops going on. They think America is just having some problems. Most
protesters understand that they're all well,
yeah, protesters do.
I'm not sure. Because if
the protesters on the left do, the protesters on the right have no idea what they're talking about.
Well, there's no protesters on the right. They're called ICE agents.
Ta-da!
The ICE agents are getting psyoped in themselves. Like...
Yeah, but I think you're 100% right. If we go out there and co-opt the narrative from every level, from talking points like that, like that's part of what I want to do is I want to run for office as a Republican, get in there and take all this APAC money and then flip the script and just dump all the recordings, go into hiding, of course, because they'll fucking kill me.
They will kill you.
They will absolutely kill me. But like that's what we need. We need every politician to go take that money and then use it against them.
They can't kill everybody.
They're killing every Palestinian they come across.
Yeah, because the Palestinians have zero power, they don't have running water. So yeah, it's pretty easy to kill suffering people.
We're worse in one respect because we're suffering and don't know it.
I agree.
Like, the Palestinian people are the strongest mofos on the planet because they know they're getting the shit kicked out of them and they keep their head up. Americans bury their head in the sand. That's worse.
That's the issue. Is we are burying our heads in the sand. We see somebody get shot point blank, and...
Oh, I wonder if it was self-defense. Do you not trust your fucking eyes?
Yeah, you have those people, and then you have, you have to understand, everybody has to understand that every time something like this happens, and it's happening more consistently, it's part of the play. This is all a massive psyop, and you either get manipulated by it, or you start manipulating yourself.
Or, well, you have to decouple.
You start manipulating, comma yourself, not don't manipulate yourself.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, manipulate, comma, yeah. Let's eat, Grandma. Let's eat, Grandma. Commas are important.
Haha, nice Facebook post 17 years ago. Sorry.
That's funny. No, I mean, but it's like, hey, memes are powerful for a reason.
But I like to start manipulating the powers that be. And... let's not act like they are not easily manipulatable. Americans have their heads buried in the sand, so do the people in power.
Well, right, and that's why it's biting themselves in the ass.
But they don't expect Americans to wake up. So as long as we don't start manipulating, because as soon as we start manipulating them, they're not going to have a fucking clue. That's, you know what, we've talked so many times of what's the solution?
We're getting closer.
I think I found it. I think it is, we're getting psyops on the fucking daily. Everything that we see is propaganda. Okay.
You realize that all your technology, all the platforms are all government-backed projects? Mm-hmm. So get the fuck off social media.
Or get on social media and start...
with the intention. Stop consuming, start creating.
Start manipulating.
For the greater good.
For the greater good, obviously. No,
Say it.
Well, I'm trying to find it. To do good, you might have to deceive. I saw, I think it was Thomas Jefferson, which he was a slave owner. He wasn't the greatest guy. But I really like this quote. Rebellion against tyranny? Rebellion against tyranny is obedience to God.
Yeah. They found, they were wrong in many things, but the idea of this experiment of can we rule ourselves, it might also have been a psyop. Think about it.
Could have been. It very well could have been.
They said if England says, if we allow the Americans to become their own thing, then we can leverage that to create banking systems to control the larger narrative.
Which the banking system is tyranny. Everything that our country is built on right now is tyranny. Not because we didn't have the right idea, but because we got manipulated into thinking that, no, this is good for democracy. Telling China that they're bad is good for democracy. Who cares if China isn't a democracy? Who cares? Who cares if Russia isn't a democracy?
it's not that simple. It is nuanced. But I agree. Like if I'm all for putting America first, but let's actually do that. Not Israel, not individuals.
But to do that, you are going to have to lay in bed with them.
I don't know about that.
That's my whole point. You have to lay in bed with those ICE agents. You have to put on, and you have to go and shake their hand and be like, I love what you're doing. And
you got to get close in bed with them, but you have to tell them you're going to. You have to psyop them.
That is getting in bed with them.
I see it differently.
You don't have to have sex, but you'll be in their bed.
Cuddling at least, do you think?
You got to cuddle a little bit.
Cuddling ICE. That's the name of this podcast.
Yeah, that's good.